Good morning, everybody. This is Martin Wong here, your host for the Breakfast Show. Trading ideas with SMARTRobie. That's right. Now, we all know that SMARTRobie is getting smarter every day, and the response to the server has been getting high, especially right now where we've seen one sector doing very well. You all know which sector, isn't it? I'm sure you know that. That's definitely technology. You can see some of the so-called market leader like Inari and Penta is making higher. And the usual question I always ask you is that, have you got it in? If you have got it in, you've taken some profit, should you go back in again? That's right. We usually get this kind of question, and it's no doubt why many of us, again, depending if you're a first-time listener or a beginner, these kind of questions will pop up. But rest assured, we will try to answer them in our later slide. That's right. Now, welcome again. Thank you for sharing this breakfast show in your timeline. We will do the best we can to educate you in many ways what we are looking for. Right. Let's get on to what we have for you this morning. That's right. Now, this morning in our agenda that we have the usual. Now we on Wednesday, that's right. So Wednesday, it is our what we call the intermediate level. And intermediate level, we were looking at the trending news that we've seen so far and looking some chart setup and also new sentiment, which is down here. Now, if you look on top of me, just up here, you can see, this one, just up here, the market, just a slight delay, is up 10 points. Now, no doubt the market has sort of, power back up due to some unfavorable news about the political development that we've seen, and also the domestic investment, which has really been picked up, has really come down, which I'm going to show you on the next slide in here. Bearing in mind, below 1600, that means the market will continue to be bearish, and it is no big secret. And how do we know that? And early using the pentagon. That's right, the pentagon, which is on your SMARTRobie. You can see the red pentagon on top there, and we have the orange trend zone. Now, when do we want to buy it? Do we want to buy it when the overall market turn to green pentagon? Of course, the technology sectors and one or two sectors have done pretty well. If you are in there, it's good. So it does takes a little bit of skill. Again, going back to the agenda for 2021, we want to train you to be a motivated as well as to be a trained trader and investor. Now, having said that, you may see, if the technology is running, why can't I get in? Now, at the end of the day, we want to increase the probably now due to our back testing, as I said before, in our Pentagon portfolio simulation training that we do. Now, those of you who came to some of the early training on the value growth investing, we want to make sure that the background, very important, like what Tom said before, has to have a very positive. Now, if you look on the left hand side, when we first started back in November, when the KLSE trend zone is blue, then we get the overall nice trend up, and a lot of things that you buy will end up to be winning. Now, right now, a lot of things, some may move, some don't move. Only few of the technology counter, like I just talked about, you can check it out later on. Some of the stocks you want me to review, we will definitely look at that in here. All right, so let's move on what we have for you this morning. That's right. Now, the Bursa headline, let's talk about it. Now, like it or not, we have seen the Malaysia domestic demand has really decreased. Let me just bring up this laser pointer in here. You can see that's not really certainly good news. It's hitting new low, and with the new government coming in, they're also scratching their head. All right, you all know with the MCO, hopefully to be lifted up after February 4th. But at the same time, you also get the what we call the pending declaration of emergency. You got the opposition, and then you have domestic demand. Our current prime minister have more than he can handle. So at the same time, we need to have some budget allocated for the vaccine, which is coming out, and I think in many ways, many of these vaccines will be available through the private sectors. I did hear the news about the Sinopharma is being distributed by, I think, company like BioAlpha, and that's why we've seen a bit of movement on that one. But having said that, I think many of us, those who are usually used to private healthcare or going to the private clinic, I think your vaccine is likely to come from paying up. I think there maybe few of us that will go to the government sectors. Of course, some of you may do go there. After all, we do pay our taxes in there. Do let me know and what you think of it. All right, and just type it in there. All right. So, okay. Good. Okay. So let's move on to what we have for you. So at the same time, early on I talked about the chips, the tech sector, the semiconductors. Now also last Wednesday, I think we have a big turnout from you guys, and thank you for coming to the last Wednesday, which is actually 20th of January. I think you'll learn something from the semiconductor sector, which is also aligned what I've talked about, the 5+1 global mega trend. I think I posted up on the Facebook. Do share it, and I think you should pin that up into your wall, or share that with your friend. So constantly go through those mega trends, the 5+1 mega trend. Then you will know how to align yourself. Again, going back to I always said about being a trained trader and a trained investor. It's important that you know this. So when things like this, chip sector profit rise 39%. You are not surprised, isn't it? Correct? Not? So those mega trends is something myself and my team continue to go through, plow through all the journals, academic researchers to give you those 5+1 mega trend. I think in terms of my client portfolio, using those mega trend will push you through and hope you make that. I hope you also like that mega trend. If you do give me a thumbs up for that one in here. All right. So this chips continue to plow through, and also looking at some other hygienic care like RGT. They did a lot of OC sales in here, but right now if you look at RGT, I think this morning should be up. Okay, let me just bring up the livestock prices in here. You can see it is up 2.6%. Let me just push it up a bit here. It's a 58 cents. You can see 58 cents for that one. So let's look at the chart. I'm not too sure about the chart. It's just that, when you have some of my own portfolio, my client portfolio running on Inari, which will show you sometimes when you look at all this, again, aligning back ourselves to the mega trend. Okay, and when you have that as part of your so-called compass, the sector compass, then you know where to invest. So RGT, like those of you who really want it, this is definitely a hygiene subsidiary, RGT industry, talking about a lot of news in Seberang Perai and so forth. But having said that, it is around the 30 or 20 cents because of the demand in overseas. All right, let's move on to the next news. Now, next news I have for you is definitely the OCK. Okay, OCK Group, which will be partnering from, I visited OCK before. I met up with the CEO, quite a young guy. He's actually about the same age with me. But, he also shared with me his story and how, he came out and started. And right now, he's already a millionaire. It's kind of interesting to hear how some of these story of, really good entrepreneur coming out and starting up the business and eventually get listing. And in a way, they actually benefited us too. By understanding how they do their business, we can invest through them. And that's what it's all about, after all, the stock market, isn't it? So let's look at OCK today. Let's look at the stock comment. Having said that, there's a lot of news. Having said that, you can see here on top, all the 5G and also people who is covering them, especially the analysts. But if you look at the stock price, it is still sort of pending around the 48 cents over here, not really going anywhere, dated back to 2000 setup. Yeah, that's right, Sam Ui Chin Kung. You can see it right here. That's why it's called OCK under his name here. Their office is actually in Bandar Puchong. Bandar Puchong shop lot one. By the time I went there after finish, I could just go over the restaurant. There's a lot of good restaurant actually, Bandar Puchong there. Next to the PICC. That's right, PICC. But I heard there's a couple of cases there, so do be careful. Now, there are 5 broker firms tracking this, and they have a buy call with a target of 60 cents. So if you like it, of course, let's look at LCK this morning with a little bit of 5G, right? It's up 1.1%. Now, many people may ask me if I want to play the 5G again, part of the global trend that we see, the 5G and the technology. How do you update? Do I buy Inari? Do I buy OCK? Having said that, what I would advise is look at the magnitude. How much is it being impact? Because OCK is definitely a 5G, but it is only local, right? If you look at Inari, it's export based. My bet is basically export based because you're doing multiple overseas business inside there. So it pays dividend to know a bit about where you want to put your money, whether it's local domestic investment. And also remember the first slide that I show you, the domestic investment is sort of coming down. Will that impact OCK because it's mainly domestic? Of course, they do benefit from overseas inside there. No doubt this company is doing well, but as I said before in this report, they are also impacted by the COVID-19. Just to keep in mind with that one. Okay, let's go on to the next news that we have for you here. And the next news is Advance Corp, another construction firm with the East Coast Railway projects in here. I think no need to see some of these stocks, construction with the cancellation of high-speed project. The sentiment on the construction sectors doesn't seem to be good, but these stocks will make a bit of headway, and it's just looking at it. All right, let's move on to the next one, Hartalega. That's right. Now, rubber glove continued to sort of defy the overall trend. Now, last week I did show you, again, I want to check this because myself also I got Harta. So, all right, so I want to bring this up and see where's Harta. Harta had profit taking yesterday because of the good news usual. Good news, that's what the earnings here is very good. I show you that, and then the market take back down. So some people are saying, no, with this, I don't understand with good news what is actually happening here. Again, this one you need to use a bit of a fundamental. If you look at what we have in Singapore, that's right, AP4. Okay, Riverstone. I use that one. You can see Riverstone continue to hit high. Of course, there were a bit of profit taking, but it's hold back. Now, if you compare that to Harta and Top Glove, definitely a lot of the Malaysians are very short term. So you see, you can take profit, then come back down inside here. But I think once the accumulation is done, this thing will go up. And generally, most Malaysians, being the retail where they tend to left out. They sort of like to kejar, chase a bit. But Harta is definitely long term and still good. And also, I did read the analyst report, which I do pay a lot of respect to. Inter-Pacific, they did send a copy to me, and Harta has a target price of, how much is it right now? Let's switch to Harta. Let me just bring it up for you here. Right, Harta is $12. They're pricing at $16. That's right. So for me, I'll usually take profit around 15 plus. This thing is going to go back up, but unfortunately, the sentiment is quite bad. A lot of short sellers are shorting this, but I do think these stocks, once the accumulation is done, they will take out the $13 and up it goes. Okay, so don't give it up. All right, I will look at this. Okay, and let's go on to the next news here. All right, now let's look at what we have so far. Now, on the US market, the 31,000, as I said before, is pretty much firm. It did close yesterday. I thought there was going to be a sell down on the Dow Jones, but it did not. And we saw Intel last week release. It was a good quarter. That's why I'm going to show you here. Intel is a good quarter. Then we have the Microsoft. Also, after the market closed last night, it jumps up earning, and also Apple and Tesla is reporting. So you have this thing. What's going to usually happen is going to be two likely, either the continuation of the trend, or you can see climatic volume tonight when Microsoft open, and the market will sell back down. Just like what you've seen with Hartalega. Good results, people say that, hey, this market is going to correct, they will sell it down. But the problem is, how much is the correction? I don't see we're going to have another big crash like what we've seen in COVID for this year, partly due to Biden swearing in his first 100 days. He will pump stimulus, that's for sure. That's what we talk about there. There will be catalysts coming out, and they're talking to getting a bipartisans in the House of Congress to be passed this week, and to get maybe another 900 billion into the market to help out with the COVID-related vaccination and relief. So more and more vaccine will come out. And also the Secretary of Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, which is a a prodigy of Ben Bernanke will be sworn in as a part of the Biden, and she's into the old. You remember that Ben Bernanke is a person who print money, okay? So there's a lot of printing also from Janet Yellen, and don't expect Biden not to print money. So when they're going to print money, US dollar that we've seen right now, which is slightly stronger to the ringgit, but I think with the printing of the US dollar, eventually, our ringgit will be impacted too, in some way or not. But right now, we can see technology tonight will probably going to do pretty well. Microsoft revenue jumped 70%. We're talking about revenue, right? If revenue goes up, this is even better than EPS. So you can see the profit is also up 34%. And some of the members who came on our masterclass early on, I think last year, August, when the market fell, I thought that Microsoft is not a bad stocks to have. It does have a full coverage. It has Xboxes, e-gaming, right? Very important, part of the 5 global trend. It has the Zoom, the what we call video conferencing through its Microsoft team. Although you may disagree with me that team quality is not as good, but they also got Skype, right? Skype and Team. Then they have the cloud server, the Microsoft Azure. So that's also, and they also have the usual Microsoft Word desktop, which is in my computer and yours computer if you're not a Mac user. So one way or another, buy Microsoft and buy Apple. All right, then you cover everything. All right, so that's how we are looking. All right, let's move on to what we have for you here. And of course, the 2021, we still, for the first half of the year, our focus will still be pretty much on the lesson learned. Lesson learned and the kind of trades that you miss out. What are the things that we are looking for? That's Form 1. And the second item number 2 you can see is the Pentagon guided trading portfolio strategy, which we are quite proud of. In 2020, through our back testing, you can make about 106%. And we were very happy. Majority of our masterclass students who done similarly the same back testing, okay, also make about average return about 53%. So saying that means everybody make money in 2020. Now, if you have not made money in 2020, maybe you want to try out using the Pentagon guided trading portfolio strategy. And remember, in our value investing course that we had 2 weeks ago, we done that. But anyway, this weekend, January 30th, we will also showcase you more about those rules on the Pentagon trading portfolio strategy. So make sure you register at the end of this talk, and it's completely free. We start on Saturday, 10 to 1. I'll take note of that one. Okay, let's go on to next. So let's look at the news today, this morning, and so far, okay, let me just make this chart a bit bigger. So let's look at the news. Right, why we do that is because news are very positive. Bursa rebounding. Public Bank, Public Bank just did a bonus split, right? Semiconductors top gainer, and hey, guess what? You guys know it first, right? Last week, if you have gone in on last Wednesday, right, you will have made money. And again, on the same note of the Pentagon portfolio strategy, which I've just shared with you, one of the stocks we picked was JHM, which I'm going to talk about it tonight on the 27th for our masterclass member. That's right. So tonight I reserve my time, not for the public, it's for my masterclass. And after all, these are the group of people that are, we sort of myself, the coaches and the team are committed to train them for year 2021. Are you ready to be trained? If you're ready to be trained, do join us in our masterclass, and we have a special offer package for that. But definitely tonight, we will be talking about some of the US market too, also for the Pentagon. I know Hari, who is listening now, do share tonight. Hari, if you're listening now, and tonight I want to hear your result of the back testing. Do share it, especially when Coach Arif gets you in that. And also talk about the US NASDAQ, which done pretty well. US NASDAQ was about 200% return for year 2020, again on back testing. Whether this year will come or not, we don't know, but definitely one of the ways we do is looking at scenario building, pretty much like in management, doing the SOP, standard operating procedure, how to pick this kind of stock should it come out too. All right. So right now you can see some of the good news we've seen there. Looking back, Bio Alpha, we know that news has sort of come out, and so we seen very well. Okay, so let's move on to what we have for you in here. Bio Alpha, you could see, and Kajaya, and also Chinwell. All right, let's move on to some of the highlights of the stock pick. Again, highlight of the stock pick is important in here because really going back to what we talk about here, we want to make those ideas even earlier in January, right? 27th of January right now. We already picked that from last year. You can see Pi made a new high, UWC got higher, KGP went 24, revenue still stuck there. Great tech started to move, right? Because you notice all the tech stocks, we pick it up. 13 now, like it or not, the news came out. The news came out on when? All the chips, right, only came out Tuesday. Right, came out on Tuesday. But guess what? We pick it up very early, 13th and 20th of January, and also 23rd of January. Of course lah, this is like that lah. News come out already, people want to sell, right? But Pentagon detected it on the 23rd of December, 13th of December, and 20th of January. You can see that, right? All those stock pie, because the market usually move first, and that's why Pentagon is so powerful, especially those of you who are first time coming in here. So you already got in, and then don't forget, last week, 20th of January, we did a very long, lengthy talk also, right? So that pretty much covered it. And I do hope some of those ideas are sort of sinking into your head and not only looking technically, but we also look at the overall mega trend. And that's what Trade VSA is all about, giving you the mega trends, giving you the fundamentals, giving you the price and volume, because that's how big hedge funds work. And in many ways, I always adore the big hedge funds, how they work. You can see behind me, let me just show you a book behind me. Right, inside the buy super stocks. That is how we want to look at them. There are many methodologies out there. Having said that, some just looking at purely technical. If that suits you, fine. Some just looking at fundamental. If that suits you, that's fine too. But I find that if you can combine both, you have that edge, and that's why we got 51%, 21, 24, -2, plus 17, 8, MY Tech, and also FP Group. All right. Okay, let's look at what we have in terms of the lesson learned. All right, let's look at one lesson learned for MI Tech, which we picked up last week. Okay, MI Tech inside here. MI Tech. Now, last week of 20th January, this was where it is. Okay, 20th January, we pick it up, we hit uptrust. The market did break down. And remember this ATR stop loss. Right, it didn't hit, so you should stay with it. Even if you put up the trading plan, still not a problem. And then today, jalan lah. But I think very important when people buy, because again, going back to your agenda, whether you are trained or not trained. If you're not trained, you buy idea, you expect to go up, isn't it? Right? Because why? You don't know how to read chart. So when the market come down, you get a bit scared. Ayo, how? Especially this bar, wow, down 6%, you panic, right? Some of you may have sold it. But then after that, the market turned back up. So going back to it, if not just use the trading plan, follow the trading plan, and you still be up, you still be riding it. And if you have followed the green Pentagon, started out here, you wouldn't be out. And if you draw your thing here, right? Let me just draw. All right, from here, you went in the next day. See? 32% already in the money. Okay, even one of the trades that we did, okay, very recent one, after the JHM, okay, from here we enter here lah, 192, okay. 192. Tonight I'll break it down for you. You see that? Already 21%. So JHL already 21%. Just on the one is MI Tech. MI Tech is berapa? This one berapa? Yeah, I think 32%. Okay. So using the green Pentagon will definitely helps you a lot more. All right. So again, how do we know this? Is because through our backtesting simulation that we've been doing, and something that we will go through with our members tonight. I want to make sure all our masterclass members are clear about this. Should this year, whether it is US market or Malaysian market, start to pick up, I want you guys to really benefit from all this and make that double-digit return for that one. Again, why we want to do that? Education. There's a lot of patterns inside. If you notice the book I have, Insider, this is how Insider look at it. Okay, guys, be smart. Be look at the trends, pay notice to smart money accumulation and so forth. Okay, so that is the lesson learned. Okay, let's look at what we have for you in terms of stock pick for today. We picked Inari and Penta. That's right. Some people say, why Inari and Penta? Because you notice on here, it just came out on the 26th. Of course, going back to again, why pick so late? Because this is a trending list. Okay, now if you go in, of course, with the green Pentagon, you could have gone in here, isn't it? Right, and if you have a real-time version, you can even go in fast now. Right now, this market, Penta is sticking his head out. Yesterday, always stick his head out. Let's look at Inari. Okay, Inari, wow, today very nice, 4%. This week, a lot of my clients will be very, very happy. You can see how many days he run already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 days. All right. Now, why is this? Can someone tell me? Of course, my member will know one. Apple reporting result, isn't it? Correct. Apple reporting result, I think Wednesday. So Thursday morning, we'll know lah. So you can see Apple, so AAPL. That's what this weekend when we do our 30th of January, make sure if you do come for it, have log in and get a copy of TradingView. I know some of you are from the old traditional charting tools that you have, free one or you paid one, or the office one, right? Because some of the people listening here are remisers, they tend to use the older version, but I do think that it's good to get the TradingView. It's free, right? Once you get into a TradingView, and when you come for the 30th of January, we're going to pretty much show you, spend a bit more time, about 3 hours going through what are things I look at and give you an overall, because in the breakfast show, it's more like as a result of what we learn, we want to make those kind of good trades, good profits coming in there, so you'll benefit too. So you can see Apple is right now, earnings is it's going to be here. So either that you're going to get something like Microsoft, MSFT, which just now we just saw. Okay, it pops its head up here, earnings. These pre-market openings, right? And let's see tonight. Of course, it's going to be interesting what this thing does, because right now, Microsoft, Tesla, and Apple are the barometers of the market. All right, so you can see Inta and Penta is the one we're looking at. Of course, next week when you come back will be the February time frame, next February, and let's see where Penta is. Of course, having said that, I do expect Inari as soon as Apple release the result Thursday. So we're going to see Penta peak on Thursday, and then like Friday you see profit taking on Friday. Usually standard one now. When good news, what do? They will sell, isn't it? The Bodo fellas will buy, isn't it? But then if you've been following this, you know that is the fact rather than the exception. All right. Somebody asked me, public bank so high, how do you buy, man? Buy when green Pentagon. Okay, I'll show you public bank. Okay. Now I cannot help it. Many of you are later. You say, okay, public bank. Public bank. Okay, public bank has been adjusted. Green Pentagon. Yeah, 428. I think it's okay if you go on green Pentagon. Having said that, not a problem in here. Now, many people would like to buy public bank and start trading, because public bank used to be around $20. Now $4, they say cheap, because we have the bonus split inside here. Okay. You can see yesterday there was a big upthrust, but I think it looks pretty good. I think public bank is fine from a trading standpoint. I think it's pretty good. Yuki, all right. Okay, so right now, okay, I'm just going to push on, and I'll probably look at some of the charts that you guys have now. Okay, again, the lesson learned is to pay notice on the narrow spread bars. All right, now let's look at public bank. Do we see any narrow spread bars early on? Yes, the narrow spread bar was down here. You can see this was the one. And then when the green Pentagon, so some of our masterclass members very smart. They see narrow spread bar, they will buy. They buy because we train them to buy before the green Pentagon. You can see this green Pentagon is up 6%. So you're able to buy much earlier. You can see, you want to see that. You see this chart. Let me just try to show you time and time again. Right. That's what you can see this here, right? You can see volume. You see volume is high, right? But coming down to here, the volume here, that's where we have the low volume. And the low volume is important. Okay, and this is a QR code for those of you who are first time listening inside here. Do check out our QR code, and you are able to see some of the no confirm and no supply in here. Of course, we do appreciate, as a token of appreciation, do go over to our Google and give us a review in our Facebook, where we continue to update ourselves with your feedback. Okay, and this is the trading view for beginners that we are doing on the 30th January, which is the one I've talked about. So make sure you have an account on TradingView too and check it out. To be frank with you, we have limited to first 500 packs. So I think we'll be opening up maybe half an hour early, or maybe 20 minutes. So make sure you come early. A lot of people will complain right? Because the last time we did one, we didn't hit 500 people, but this time we have more than 500 people registering. So do come in early. So for our masterclass member, I think this one you can skip it because it's very basic, very beginner. It's for most of the public inside here. Tonight, for our masterclass member, the 27 one is a bit more for you guys. That's why we created the agenda for you. This is more for the public to get them up into speed. And if there is any good trends inside here, check this one. I think Yuki should try to come for this one too. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to look at some stocks right now. Having said that, I think SL West, someone did ask me about SL West, where to take profit, okay? So let's, very simple, you ask SMARTRobie, SL West. Okay, SL West, And let's look at the exit strategy. Okay, exit strategy is 287. Okay, so let's bring out SLVS here. Okay, 2446. 2446 is your first target profit, right? There you go. Take lah. No need to ask me, ask Robie. Sorry, that's what over the years, Robie is a persona of me. I built a lot of the algorithm into Robie. If not, take at 280 lah. Yeah, I know most of you not well trained, very kenjong, no one take profit one. Or let it run at the red pentagon. Again, going back to what we call train trader and train investor. Do you want to get trained, or do you want to be subjected to the market go up, go down? So have a plan. Okay, have a plan. Very important. Have a plan inside there. All right. Okay, let's look at next what we have here. Okay, Samadan. Okay, let's look at Samadan again. Same, I think they're going to be Samadan, Samadan. Okay, Samadan also going higher lah. Again, go back to here, right? SAI. Okay, SAMI. Okay, go back to here. Now, some of you say that, yo, Martin, maybe I don't want to take profit, or those of you want to satisfy to your emotion. Just now we talk about SLS, isn't it? We have two profit target. Take one first, $2.45. Okay, another one $2.82. But the problem is some of you, because not well trained, right? You only buy 200 share already. And the commission costs you more, isn't it? Or you buy 1,000 ringgit or 2,000 ringgit worth already. After sell already, how to sell, so your commission costs more, right? That's the problem I see a lot of people. Because the way they trade is so small that the money they make is so insignificant. The loss they make is so significant. So eventually their 10,000, 12,000 cannot make money. I see it time and time again. Ask yourself, go back to your trade. Wow, you're right, Martin. I got like 7 or 8 trades, all very small, like kichimao, and I cannot make money. Correct, because you end up paying more commission, right? And don't be so hard on yourself. It is partly because you're not trained, right? Like you have like part of our masterclass, we train them. That's why we go through the portfolio. Then they know what to do. Like usually people, if they don't train, they go and listen here and there. Normally it take about 6 to 7 years. Don't forget, 6 to 7 years, right? The time period they lost money, they go through the emotion up and down swing. Not nice, no? Unless you are quite okay with losing money. I'm not. I want to make money every year. And I want my student and all my masterclass members to make money every year. If there's a trend, of course, no trend, then we stay out lah. That's what the whole portfolio all about, right? Correct, not? If you ask Hari, which has been a great supporter and some of our members inside there, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. But most people, because they don't want to formalize their training, which is, I can't understand, right? You want to learn things, it's okay. But again, very important, we are performance driven. We are SOP driven. We want performance and we want our process. If you can get that streamlined, I think result is just an outcome because of the good work that you put in. And many times, some of our Pentagons does very well inside here, all right? Okay, someone want me to look at K-Power. We'll look at K-Power too. Okay, there was no link to the Zoom meeting. No, register. Now, Christine asked, there's no link. We don't give out link. Register first for that one. Okay, register for that first one. And then later on, the link will be emailed to you. Okay, it's not the usual Zoom link that you have. So just register for that one. I think you can link it in. I'll check it out. Just was okay. Okay, let's look at the... someone mentioned Taipusam. Okay. Plug-in members, public bank, good to buy. SL West, I think I answered that one. Okay, public bank. Why? That's a good question. Why sometimes good news share price go down? Of course, our good news price will go down, isn't it? That is what smart money is for. Okay, I hope I answered you, Ding. So welcome to the world of smart money. Right? Because you are not trained, you are the public, unsuspected. So in order to lure you in, right, they have to give you good news. Right? So smart money usually buy on bad news. Right? So there are some of those things I will cover later on smart money, but welcome to the world of smart money, right? So sometimes when you see EPS earning good because on fundamental, right? That's the first thing when I first came in and I learned. As an analyst, I said, hey, how come good company, good result, why price go down? You don't know where, Martin? Good news, smart money will sell, ma. Then I said, welcome to the real world. So Ding, Miss Ding, I hope you learned something today. Okay, plug-in members. Good time to buy pharma again. Good news, ma. You want to buy before that, which I already talked about. So usually, if you are, many people usually get trained on news by default because news is free, ma. Correct. So one of the things that I do in my news section early on is to tell you the news. By the time the news is there, you need to confirm with the charts. Right, and that way you avoid it. So that is why people who is not well trained, they continue to read news year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, and couldn't figure out why they lost money. That's the reason why. Right. Remember, news, right, is to deceive you. Thursday no market. That's right. Thursday no market. That's right. Because of typhoon. But we will still do our thing because US market is still open anyway. JF Tech, JF Tech, I think JF Tech has run a lot, so you're seeing through. Let me look at JF Tech. Some people say why JF Tech didn't run, because JF Tech run so much already. You see this now again, going back to Green Pentagon, okay, very early stages, okay, and you got to here, there 90%, okay, so it ran 90%. Of course, many people only buy JF Tech here, correct? No? So I'm gonna ask Jonas, what price you buy? You buy at 190 or 170? Okay, just type it in there. All right. Now, if you look at Inari, okay, because Inari's turn now, it's like Inari turn now here. Okay, Inari is here. Then Inari need run 20%. Right? That's what Inari is running. JF Tech already run. Remember, I talked about on the Pentagon portfolio strategy on the value growth. I did talk about it. Each of these stock has a certain life because smart money control it. So when they push up the price, they want to distribute. Keep that in mind. If you don't know about smart money, go over to Google, go to volume spread analysis, trade VSA, and this is what it's all about. In this section, we didn't have time to explain the methodology behind it. What we want to do is, as a result, you learn those, like many of our masterclass members, then they know. Right now, it's more like a training. It's more like on the session, you see this stock, we know what to do. All right. Let me see. Anything else? I just like to attend all. Yeah, great, Mr. Continue to attend all our free session, and we are ready to upgrade yourself. Join our masterclass. Get our plugin. If not, just there's so many of the plugins. There's so many of the workshop. You know, when I look at it on my YouTube, there's so much of the things that. One of the things that I really recommend you. I was told to inform everybody. Just if you are basic. Maybe I'm going to put this at the end there. Yeah. Do attend we have a beginner's course here. Okay. A beginner's course. Maybe I should put this on my next slide there. This one here. Beginner's course. And we have an English and a Chinese one here. So if you have not listened to this one here yet, right, a beginner course, that's a picture of me. So we done this to get everybody up to speed. We talk about smart money. Let me just give you this link here. All right. Okay. And I think I'll give this link to you later. So what I do is that probably I create a QR code on the next slide so you can attend all these free talks inside here to get you up and speed and running. It's just that we have done so much work, we didn't have time to promote it because we're not so much of the marketeer. We are, basically trader and investor in the market. But we did this as part of our services to you, which is completely free. Just go out and check it out too. Okay. Okay, then we have SCIB today up a lot. Okay, good. Continue to run it. Samchem, you want me to look at Samchem? Okay. Sam Chemical. Okay, Sam Chemical. Yep, you got red pentagon in here. Now, this is your ATR stop loss. So if we hit below, you got to exit. All right? That's how simple is it. Usually you buy up here lah. So this one is again going back to what is your trading plan? Okay, trading plan. Going back to your trading plan. Do you want to follow a trading plan? If you don't follow a trading plan, no matter there's a stop loss or not, you cannot cut. And most time people say cannot cut loss is painful. There was another member sent to me about one of the stocks. I think was on healthcare and so forth. I said that if you get too emotional by the market, it's very hard to make money, to be frank with you. So one of the things we want to do in our masterclass is try to address this emotional thing. So going back to when I started in this field, and many of you, we all have our mentors too. All right, I have my mentors too. We go through the process of learning about ourselves. I think it's also important that you, at one point of time, need to learn to process it, because trading is very lonely one, especially nowadays. You don't go to a place and talk to people. Maybe you got a few friends here and there. And remember, if those few friends of yours about the same level as you are, it's even worse, because they will throw a kind of funny idea to you, and he or she not trained, you are not trained. Then guess what? You're going to be a mixed bag of results coming out. It's very important that you want to spar and talk to people who challenge your idea. I always get my students to challenge my ideas, and that's important. A lot of time, depending what education you're coming from, especially the Chinese education one, they tend to be very Confucius. They follow. Cikgu cakap. But I'm English educated and trained overseas also. So every day we challenge. All right. So especially the stock market, you need to be challenged. Why this method and not this method? And if you can think on that and be independent in your thinking, a lot of time you will make money. The problem is too many of us follow too many sifu. I also follow sifu. But later on, once I realized that the awakening happens, and I challenge. Do you think what I say makes sense? Makes sense? Give me a thumbs up. All right. Yeah, I think Michelle, the SMARTRobie, have an adjustment to that one. We are making the adjustment in the afternoon for the SMARTRobie. Do take note. Because of the adjustment, so the entry. But if you look at the charts, when the green balance comes, just go in, okay? Okay, Pi continued to run. I think that's about it, okay? Yeah, Warren Buffett must be lonely. Warren Buffett should be retiring. He's 80 plus. Should enjoy his time with his grandchildren. He has his son Peter, Warren Buffett Jr., and his grandson. But he is a Rotarian, and I do think Warren Buffett is quite active in his his hometown there, and I think he should do a bit more work mentoring the next generation of investor. But then again, more of this in our value investing talk next time. I'll talk more about Warren Buffett and his influences from Charlie Mungers, and also some of the earlier sifu, which is Benjamin Graham and so forth. I'm a bit of an investment historian too. I learned a lot about hedge funds, and you can see how deep my head is into investment. So in many ways, I would like to share this with all our Malaysian audience as well. Some of you in Singapore and Hong Kong, that reading is important, but also more important is being open. I think we need to be open that any possibility is there and willing to invest time and money in our education. So with that, I will close my session in here. Janice wanted me to look at ETA. Okay, sure. We look at ETA. Okay, SCIB. Okay, Sarawak Consolidation. Yeah, let me run this one. No problem, right? Now, the always question I have one, can buy now? Am I correct now, Janice? Is your question can buy now, not Sarawak Consolidation? Right? Buy is buy here at the green pentagon, okay? If it comes out on the trending list, then buy. If not, just check out SMARTRobie. You can check that one out too. Okay, look at MCIB and what it says. Okay, and follow the plan. If you're going to buy SCIB, just follow the plan that SMARTRobie has. Buy higher, take profit higher. All right, that's all I can do. Okay, ETA is going to do a bonus split too. This is a bonus split today. ETA is doing a bonus split today, so do take note because normally we let the chart normalize too. Right? Because when the chart is not normalized, Robie is so kepala pening with this, just like public bank. So we will do the adjustment tonight for ETA. Just keep in mind with that one. Okay. FP Group, we actually selected that one last week, 20th of January. You may have gone in then. Okay. Now, if you ask me, FP Group, usually it is still sideways. Going back to the trading plan, you have your stop loss in here. This one didn't go as fast as it can. Not like the Inari one. You just need to wait for it to go sideways first. Again, learning to read chart is good. Msian, okay, I'll do the last one for you guys, okay? Msian is quite straightforward lah. Okay, so Msian again, you got green pentagon. It didn't break higher, move out. If it does break below the 80 cent, you want to be out. All right, because if you look at this a long period, at one point of time, it's going to break up, but I just don't know when. So I'm going to ask you the question. Now, going back to what we see, the sector analysis. Again, going back to train investor, train trader. Now, if you're not been trained, you don't know much about sector analysis, I can understand. So one of the things you want to do, go and find out more about sector analysis, right? and these things we actually touch base or get it out from our dashboard, the sector analysis dashboard in there. If you're ready, you can upgrade. You can see a lot of what are those sectors inside here. And also this weekend on 30th, we will show you too some of the growth stocks that we talk about in here. FA screener which screens out some of the growth stocks, so you use that as some of your stocks to buy. Else you get caught in stocks like this, like Msian, which is, in my opinion, not so good lah. Market stuck. Does it pay dividend? Check it out on SMARTRobie. If it does, you want to hold it. Remember, the required rate of return each year should be 8 to 12%. That's my target I give to all my masterclass members. You must make 8 to 12% return a year. If you make 50% a year, that's good. Now, last year, 2020, I made 50% return. Even my seafood Bill said, wow, very good, you make 50%. I said, of course, Bill, that's why I do sector rotation, profit, I take some profit. I do all my portfolio simulation inside there. You have to be hardworking. How to get 50%? Correct? No, you think 50% drop from the sky? No way, man, right? A lot of people thought buy this share and hold, make 50%. Come on, guys. Don't be so naive, all right? If the people tell you that work, you cannot con. All right, with that, I'll leave you a good message in there. I'll see you guys Friday, I suppose. See you guys on Friday for breakfast show. A little bit more sharing then. If not, on the 30th of this one here. Okay, this one here, the beginner. Oh, one more thing. I just want to make sure you guys know about the next talk that we have. Will be up by 2. Let me see. Okay, yes, this is the one important. Tonight, for masterclass member, do join us at 8:30. I reserve some time for them. For the Pentagon second follow-up session, we did our first one last month, so we're doing a second one, and we really want to share our coaches, a lot of our result in here with our masterclass member inside here. So, and remember, the masterclass has a lot of benefit. So the next intake is 5, 6, 7, and 8. And those who signed up earlier last week, I think when you come in tonight, because we invite them to come in, so they get a little bit of headway first before we go on to the 5th, 6th, and 7th. And also, this February intake is 2021. Okay, when you guys are ready, do come to our masterclass. And we're having a promotion to 31st of January. For those of you interested in our masterclass that we talk about, it's 4,888 plus 3-month combo, so you get about 15 months with all our coaching and mentoring and also the plugin. If you like, you think about it. If you don't like, just come to our morning breakfast show. We'll help you too when you're ready, and it's good. All right. Don't forget, next Wednesday, the 3rd of February, will be our next talk, President Biden Green Policy. Myself and my team actually done a lot of research on this one in here. We are looking at Keystone Project, the XL, the 17th executive order that was signed by President Trump. What does it mean? What does it mean with the Paris Climate Agreement, all right, and the what are the Green Deal energy? You heard those terms, you don't understand, right? So on the next Wednesday, let me explain to you, and you will know how it's going to impact the 2021, one of the global mega trends, why SL West is going higher. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, so I'll see you guys next Wednesday, sooner Wednesday. So lots of activity to get you educated. Do share our Trade VSA with your friends. We really appreciate it for all the education material that we do through our research team, and we really want you to benefit for the coming 2021. All right, thanks a lot, and bye-bye.